Hi, everybody. Jorge Rivera here with the People's Resource Center and your Tenant Tip Tuesday. Thank you so very much for joining us and for watching. Let's get started with just a little grounding. And we can just do some focused energy. Feel free to relax. If you're standing, that's fine. If you have the ability to close your eyes, please do so. If not, just focus in on a point in front of you. And we're just going to observe today. If you're sitting down, just notice the weight of your body in your chair. If you're standing, notice the feet touching the floor in order to help bring attention to those parts of your body. You can wiggle around in your chair or wiggle your toes and just notice and observe the sensations of your body touching the chair or connected to the earth. Just observe the weight and imagine it's just getting a little heavier, a little bit more weighted. You're making more contact. If you're able to visualize, just imagine that there are roots growing from the bottom of your feet, traveling into the ground, grounding you. And you can repeat the mantra, I am safe. I am safe. I am grounded. I am grounded. I am safe. And just observe. When you're ready, you can wiggle your toes or move in your seat back into your body and into the present moment. All right, great. Thank you so much for joining me in that. And let's get to the Tenant Tip Tuesday. This week, we are talking again about tenant responsibilities. And today's tenant tip is about the tenant's responsibility to allow the owner or the manager to enter after proper notice. So this tenant tip has a lot loaded into it. It may seem simple, but there's a lot of detail to take account of. So let's get into it. First of all, what does proper notice mean? Okay, so proper notice means that you should have a full 24-hour notice, meaning that it has to be from the time that you're noticed to the time that they plan on entering the unit has to be a full 24-hour notice. You can't get the notice at 9 o'clock at night and expect them to be into the unit in the morning. That is not a full 24-hour notice. It has to be full 24-hour notice. And it has to be for a valid reason, right? And we're going to get into what a valid reason is in just a bit. And third, it has to be delivered to you properly. And being delivered to you properly means that it's posted on your door in a conspicuous place. And it should also be mailed to you via US Postal Service. Now, usually that is not the way it happens. It's usually just posted to your door. But technically, it should be mailed to you as well. Whether or not that's an argument or a defense that you can make, that's going to be a tough one because usually it's just posted to your door. I would say, okay, so again, it has to be a proper notice. So full 24 hours, it has to have a valid reason, and it has to be delivered to you properly. Okay, so let's get back to what does valid reason mean? Okay, so there are only 3 or 4 valid reasons that a owner or manager can enter into your unit. Number 1, you requested repairs and maintenance, and they're entering the unit in order to complete those repairs and maintenance. That is a valid reason for them to give you notice to enter into your apartment or home. Okay, so the other notice is the other valid reason is it's in case of an emergency. So let's say there's a fire and they have to burst into your unit. and extinguish the fire. Or let's say there's a pipe that burst and it's coming from your unit, you're not home, they have to rush into the unit in order to put a stop to the leak. Those are emergencies, and those are considered valid reasons for them to enter. And then the third one is if they're selling the building and or the home and they need to show it to prospective buyers, and or if they know that you're moving out and they want to show the unit to a prospective tenant. So those are valid reasons for them to enter your unit. So that implies that there are invalid reasons. And I have heard a whole bunch of reasons as to why owners and managers want to come in. So they can't come in just to inspect the unit. They can't come in to take pictures of the unit unless it's related to, say, the sale of the property, for example. So any other reason other than those valid reasons, you can try to contest as a tenant, okay? So let's recap. It has to be a proper 24-hour notice, and it has to be for a valid reason. And we know that there are invalid reasons for them to try to enter into the unit. Another important thing that you should know is that if they give you proper notice to enter into the dwelling, into your apartment or your home, you do not have to be at home in order for them to enter, okay? So a lot of people try to take time off from work, try to take time off from other things that they have going on, but you do not have to be home in order for them to legally enter the unit. I know that you want to be there because maybe you're not trusting of the people that are going to go in there, and totally understandable. Just know that it is legal for them to enter the dwelling without you there if they've given you proper notice. Now, that ends the tenant tip. I want to sort of make an important note, because during the time of this video, we are in the COVID pandemic. And there are cities and jurisdictions all throughout the state of California that have additional tenant protections in place right now that have to deal with entering the unit. So for example, in Los Angeles County, where I am, there are protections against evictions for tenants that deny entry of the owner or the manager, obviously for concerns around contracting COVID and getting infected, especially if people are health compromised. They don't want the owner or the manager coming anywhere near their place, right? So it's important to note that right now there are special protections in place in certain cities and counties, and you should really inform yourself to see if where you live in the state of California actually has those additional COVID tenant protections. And if you want to know, and if you have any questions, you can leave the comments in the comment section. You can reach out to us in the tenant counseling hotline, and we're happy to answer those questions for you or connect you to resources that might be able to help you. All right, so we thought that this was going to be a quick and easy tenant tip, but it's loaded with all kinds of stuff. And we hope that this helped inform you a little bit around allowing entry into your unit. And the way we phrase it is that if you request maintenance and repairs, let them into the unit to do those maintenance and repairs, because then it makes the tenant, you, look like an unreasonable tenant. So if you're making the request for those kind of things, let them come in and do those things and take care of those things. If they give you proper notice, let them into the unit. If you deny entry other than for COVID tenant protections, then it might make you look like an unreasonable tenant. So again, that's a lot. Let's just take a breath. Again, we want to thank you so very much for watching. Please share this video, click like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And once you subscribe, click the bell notification so that you can be notified of all new updated videos. Remember, we are better together. We are stronger together. Thank you so very much for watching. Share this out, and we'll see you next week on Tenant Tip Tuesday. Bye-bye for now.